Three Quarters Podcast, episode 12, part 1. As is always synonymous with what us guys have been trying to tell you about the road to Japan. It's only right that you start supporting our Kenya Simbas right now. Jump on the hashtag Road to Japan. That's where we want to be in 2019. It is only right that we shoot this episode from the home of rugby in Kenya, the Rugby Football Union East African Grounds, or RFUEA Grounds on Ngong Road. And just before we get into the show in Joro, I would like to just show guys the names of the stands, how they are. So of course you have Tusker stand. So to the extreme left is what used to be the player section. And to the extreme right is what is synonymous with KCB fans during when you have games. Yeah, it's called the Tusker stand because of course Tusker were the first guys corporate to get on board, and it was branded Tusker. Then we have Ngong Road stands. Safaricom constructed these ones in 2010, but it used to be, I remember during Safari Sevens they used to move the Impala floodlights Impala stands to here. So Ngong Road, of course, because of it being close to Ngong Road. Then we have Babylon, where the VIP
Mababi.
Exactly, just because of Mababi. That's why it's called Babylonia. And we are shooting from the Russia stand. This was picked up from football City Stadium. Russia is where Gor Mahia fans used to see it, and is perceived to be the poor guys, and the guys are fighting. So we are shooting from the Russia stand at RFEA. This is Ngashi, official noisemaker.
Joro, the geek in charge.
And we get into Kenya Cup. Yesterday we had a very good chance of watching 2 games, but our feature game of the week was Strathmore versus KCB. And the Union did us a favor of moving that game to Jamhuri Park. But we'll start with our feature game of the week, Strathmore versus KCB. What were your thoughts on this game?
Well, going into this game, I was pretty sure. I had a feeling that KCB would come out on top.
Yes,
because these guys have been fairly consistent, still unbeaten.
Yes,
and they did what they do best. They dominate the forward players. You see these KCB guys. It's always a long day when you're playing against KCB. Because their park play is magnificent.
Yes,
and it's not just park play.
Yes,
their backs complement their forwards very well. So it's KCB a very complete team.
Yes, and I like how you say it because the forwards are the ones who are supposed to set the platform for then the backs to execute whatever plays you have. And you feel that KCB are the guys who are doing that by excellence right now in the league.
True.
I like the camaraderie that KCB have. You always see how they have their 2 chants as they're warming up or as the game is going on, and somehow it works into your mental psyche for the
true.
For the guys.
Even when they were getting onto the pitch, we noticed that Strath kind of casually strolled into the pitch.
Yes.
But KCB came with fire. As in they came with a lot of energy.
Yes.
So already they had the momentum before the ball was even kicked off.
kind of what they say with New Zealand.
Like the hackers. Like they go into the game with a try already after the hacker. Because the opposition has already been intimidated.
Yes.
So that mental status that KCB have, I think it's also pushing them forward.
And making them record the results that they are recording right now. So, I mean, you can't also write off Strath. Yes, they did score 15 points, but there was a period where 20 minutes they were actually playing very good.
They're bringing the game to KCB.
I liked our guy, we've talked about him again, Ian Lumwaji. Then he came off the bench after an injury.
Shaban.
Shaban was KCB. He came off the bench for Peter Mwangi? Sorry, I beg your pardon. Brian Mwangi, the Strathmore fly half. And he was able to work up 1 or 2 tries. They played some good game. Alex Olaba back there, Churchill Oko at 15. They had some good plays, but unfortunately KCB had just done the damage.
So KCB 4 tries in the first half, 4 tries in the second half.
Yes.
Ended 50-15
to KCB.
Then funny enough, Leo's started a hashtag at Strathmore at 50 challenge.
Leo's at 50 challenge. But Leo's are not alone, man. They've
been wiping guys. Especially the university
sides. They really received it. Then the next game, of course, Nondis versus Nakuru. Which I must say we were lucky to catch. It was a cracker. I must say when we went in, I thought that Nakuru were really going to dominate Nondis. But hats off to Nondis.
They played, as in that game was tight.
Yes.
For the longest time it was 12-12.
Yes. It was 12-12 until the last 10 minutes when Geoffrey Omiende slotted the penalty. No, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yeah, Geoffrey Omiende slotted the penalty, became 15-12. And then there was a blunder by Enoch.
When he ran offside behind his players.
That was after Biko's break. Yeah, that was Biko's break. And it was, I mean, fine. Biko has broken the tackles. He's gained about
22 years.
Yeah, he's going about
40-meter run.
Yeah, 40-meter run. He's brought down the 5. Quick recycle because Nakuru have not yet set up the defensive patterns. So it's a quick recycle to the side and you get a try. But then they decided to slow it down, they
slowed it down, then they gave Nakuru time to reform their defensive line.
Yes.
Then obviously that blunder.
And they had taken off a couple of their forwards who would have been able to keep the ball tight. Yeah. So therefore that was a blunder. Then of course shortly thereafter there was the long kick that was raised.
The cross kick. It was a beautiful try.
No, not the cross kick. The cross kick was a try. I'm saying the long kick that was raised to Nondis. Nondis knocked the ball back. And Brian Minor picked it up and tried.
So two very critical mistakes were made.
Yes.
And in fact, I was with some Nondis guys in the stands.
Yeah.
Akina Clive.
Yes.
And they were saying, this game is 12-12, but something happens to Nondis towards the last minutes of the game.
Yes.
They were saying that there's a kind of a mental block.
Yes.
So I think if Nondis can work on that, where as in they go into the last 20 minutes of the game as if it's the first 20 minutes to keep that game, to keep their tempo as high as it was in the first half. I think once they do that, they could be competing with the big boys.
I have to hats off to Biko Adema. He's gotten back into, you could see him having a couple of challenges when Kenya Cup started. He was coming off an injury, and of course he's been in the 7th system for a very long time.
But you could see just that he's coming back to his true self, because he played at 10, because he slotted in for Fielden.
He
wasn't available.
Yes.
And he played a good game at 10. Good game.
He had 2 breaks, one of them resulted in a try, set up a couple of moves. I just feel he's too fast for the first receiver.
You see him taking it on himself.
He's too fast. But anyway, hats off to Biko Adema. That was a brilliant game he played. It's unfortunate that they did lose. And as it turns out, after the game, Nakuru thought Biko was the man of the match for Nondis, and Nondis thought that Geoffrey Omiende was the man of the match. So that was it for the KCB and KCB Strathmore and Nondis versus Nakuru games. Results for the other games.
So we had, other than those, we had Homeboys versus Machine.
Yes.
Homeboys coming out clean, 38-0.
Yes.
I don't know what's up with Machine, but they need to pull up their socks. Then we had Impala versus Western Bulls. Tight game, 17-15 to Impala. And
in Western Bulls, by the Kakamega.
In Kakamega.
Yeah.
Then we had Mwamba versus Harlequins. In fact, remember Brad Walk was challenged by Pius.
Yes.
Pius Shundu.
Yes.
Because Pius was claiming that they have the best backline.
Yes.
I guess on the day, Mwamba took it 15-7. So that's Queen's second defeat.
Yeah, try by Salaton Muturi was their captain. George Mutuku converted, and a last try by Billy the Kid of Yambo.
Billy the Kid. Yeah. And he had an exemplary turned out 7.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep. Then we had Cabras versus Black Blood.
Yes.
Cabras took it 42-14.
42-14 to Cabras. Next week, we have Cabras versus Strathmore in Kakamega. We have KCB versus Homeboys at the Den. We have Nondis versus Western Bulls at Jamhuri Park. We have Impala versus Mwamba at Impala. We have Queens versus Nakuru, which should be a cracker at Queens. And we have our feature game of the week, Machine versus Black Blood. Quick prediction: Cabras versus Strath.
I'll give it to Cabras.
KCB versus Homeboys.
KCB, those guys are too dominant.
KCB, Nondis versus Western Bulls.
Nondis with a bonus point.
Impala versus Mwamba.
Wow. I'll go with Mwamba.
You go with Mwamba.
Yeah.
Queens versus Nakuru. Queens. And our feature game, Machine versus Blood.
I think Blood will take it.
You think Blood will take it?
I think Blood will take it.
I will differ with you only on Impala versus Mwamba. I think Impala at home will be able to take the day. But I agree with you on the rest.
Good stuff.
That's been that, man. 3 Quarters Podcast, episode 12, part 1. Remember to like our Facebook page, to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and most importantly, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Ngashi Official Noisemaker.
Joro, the geek in charge.
Stay tuned for part 2.